Welcome to Collecting Chaos and part 2 of our modeling video. The parts are all dry. They've been sitting for a week, so I hope they are. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually glue sub-assemblies together. And we're going to start with the big one here. And I've got some plastic weld that I got at a hobby store. And some cheap brushes that I don't mind ruining and throwing away, and I'm just gonna do a little painting on each one with the glue. And what Plasti Weld does is it actually melts the plastic so that it literally welds it together. And that's how the way most liquid cement or plastic cements work. Trying to keep this in the video, but it's not. I keep wanting to bring it closer to me to do this. Now once I have those together, hold it for a couple of seconds. And this is what I had those rubber bands for. And we'll do one of the legs. Make sure I got the right ones. Yep. Same process. And I put it on both sides to make sure that it'll weld properly. I actually think I must have been painting with this brush at some point, because it seems to have some paint on it. And then you put them together. Right on down the line. I tried doing this with nitrile gloves one time and ended up gluing the gloves to the model, so that didn't work too good. the heater decided to come on, and I didn't want it to, so I got up and turned it off. Don't think you needed the heater serenade in this video. It wasn't quite as cold today as it has been. It's warmed up a little bit, and that made me happy. And in case you're wondering why I'm doing this on cardboard instead of on my cutting mat, I've ruined a few cutting mats with glue. But I don't mind ruining cardboard. I can always throw that away and get new cardboard. You don't absolutely have to use rubber bands to hold this stuff together. It's just, I find it helps me out a little bit. Now these smaller pieces I won't be. What we do with those, once we get them together, is we hold them. So, so as not to bore you watching me hold these pieces together, I'm going to stop the video and I'll go ahead and finish gluing the rest of them together, and then I'll come back when everything's dried and we can do the next stage of the assembly. See you in a bit. And we're back. Now, some of these pieces have little cracks in here. They didn't seal up all the way. So what I'm going to do, especially like right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the glue, and hopefully we can get it to seal up this way and not have to use anything to fill it on this part of the model. Of course, once we're done with that, we'll have to go back through and file it or sand it or scrape it or something. And we'll do that with all the pieces, just to make sure we get a good seal. Didn't want to do the. I almost did this step off camera, and then I realized that might be one of those steps that you need to see. So here's a pretty big crack there. but this seems to be filling it most of the way. So we might get lucky, and then again we might not. The fists are probably okay. Yeah, right up in here. We don't want a bunch of cracks that the paint might not cover. Okay, oh, the head. The head's so small it's easy to miss. I think that's it for right now. I have to let all of this dry. So I'm going to turn the video off and I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then I will pick up the video again tomorrow. And this is like Sunday, so we've still got 2 days before I show the video. So I'll let it sit for 24 hours, and I'll go back and I'll come back and I'll clean it up, and you can watch me do that. And we'll see about doing a final assembly on the figure. And see you in a little bit. A little bit for you, 24 hours for me. Okay, I started working on it and I forgot to turn on the camera. So you missed a lot of the scraping, but that's okay because I got a lot more scraping to do. Basically what I'm doing is I'm smoothing out the lines a little bit. I looked up at the computer screen where it has where I can see what's going on, and the little red light that signifies the camera is working was not on, and I went, oops, I guess I messed up there. Anyway, I test fitted this leg after and then I scraped it and I test fitted it again. And I believe that's about the best we're going to get on it. I'm going to end up having to do some filling. I might go ahead and get some putty for that. I don't know yet. Let's work on this next one. Should probably do a fit first. Okay. Not a whole lot of work to do on this one. Yeah. Over here there is. I'm definitely going to have to do some filling. Now whether I decide to use the super glue and the super glue and the baking soda, or if I go ahead and just get some regular putty, filler putty for it, I haven't decided yet. Both methods work well. And I do need to get some more sandpaper. But the lines that I'm working on are the weld joints where on this particular one, that's where the two legs came together. Like I said, it fits pretty good. I think with a little putty that'll be fine. Let's check out some of the arms now. It's going to need a little scraping, not too much. Oof, that needs a lot of filler. Still going to need a lot of filler. Helps if I get the right hand. Yeah, my camera shut off because the card was full, so I had to empty it out. So I don't know exactly where it's left off, but most of the parts fit pretty decent, so we're going to go ahead and do a little glue up and I'll get some filler for it, and we'll work on that a little bit. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and assemble the body parts. Only put glue on one side. That doesn't help. Make sure that's the right one. Yep. Didn't mean to take that off camera. It's hard to keep it to stay on camera on here. Normally I'd go a lot slower than this and make sure each piece was set fairly good before I went to the next one. But unfortunately I seem to be in a bit of a hurry because my battery's getting low and I don't know how long it's going to last. And there we have him, the initial Incredible Hulk glue up. Got to let it dry real good, and then once it dries, I can go ahead and start filling in these lines, these seams, and see what I can do about making them invisible. I think I will go ahead and get some putty for that, rather than relying on the super glue, or on the super glue and the yeah, I just think putty will work better. So that's it for this one, and I'm going to let it dry. And next episode, we'll put together the base. I'm going to go ahead and clean the base up and get it ready, and we'll put it together. And then we'll prime, we'll fill the body, we'll prime the base and get that ready for painting. And who knows, we might be able to do a little painting next week, but or next episode, but I'm not going to count on it. I'll just be happy if we get all these cracks filled and it looks halfway decent. But yeah, it's getting there. So I'll see you next week on Modeling with Kaos. And Thursday, well, we have the Eternal My Light project, but I got something special to show you on Thursday too, and it's another part of my collection that I haven't really gone into much, and there's not much of it to go into. I've only got a few pieces, so we'll see you Thursday, and then Sunday for whatever it is that I'm going to do on Sunday. And then next Tuesday we'll be back here for Modeling with Kaos. Bye.